Today I'm sharing a step-by-step tutorial on how to make an easy DIY terrarium using thrift store supplies. Just let me get set up and I'll be right back. Let's start. Here's the fun part. If you're a plant lover like me, you are going to love this project. My sister and I took a road trip to the watering can in Vineland, and we were admiring their terrariums. They are gorgeous, but not inexpensive. And I can't wait to share how we leveled up these DIY terrariums using thrift store supplies. Here are the thrift store candle vessels we started with. We found these candle holders at our local thrift store selling for under $5 each. And here are a few inspirational terrariums we saw at the watering can. The small glass terrariums were selling for between $32 and $49. The large glass terrariums were selling for between $75 to $95. So even before we started cleaning, Andrea and I took these thrift lanterns apart. And once we disassembled them, we cleaned the metal body with white lightning cleaner and then used a window cleaner for all the glass. The smaller lantern, it had the grills on it, so we actually needed to use painter's tape to mask off these grills, the glass with the grills, just so the spray paint wouldn't get on the glass. To turn these thrift lanterns into terrariums and have them all cohesive, we made a makeshift spray booth out of cardboard and gave them 2 coats of Rustoleum spray paint in black. I let my sister do the spray painting because she loves spray painting things. We were working outdoors with a mask. Even though it's outdoors, I do suggest you wear a mask because safety first. And it also dries really, really quickly when you're working outdoors because here in the Toronto area, it's quite warm. So the 2 or 3 coats, if you were to apply, would seriously only take about 2 hours for it to be fully dry. But again, it would depend on your environment and the humidity, the heat, etc. So we bought a variety of mini plants at the nursery, and some idea for the tiny plants for a glass terrarium are jade plants, baby ferns, air plants, succulents, spider plants, moss, and cacti, just to name a few. Here's the box of plants we purchased, and we picked them for their different colors, their different textures, and of course different heights because that creates variety within the terrarium. We also bought a bag of potting soil and decorative rocks from Home Depot for $5.99. This was a great price. These rocks are even a better deal than the dollar store rocks, but they do need a washing to make them look pretty before you start adding them to the bottom of the terrarium. We have a ton of this bag left over, so we can use them for different gardening or different potting uses. Now for the fun part, designing this terrarium. We did a 1/3 ratio of rocks and soil, and the rocks are for drainage. And then you need to add enough soil that the plants can actually sit in, so it'll cover their roots fully. So once we had the rocks and the soil in place, it was time to pick out the terrarium plants. I feel that odd numbers often look more interesting. So we started with 3 baby plants and we ended up adding in a couple of rocks. You could add in some chicks and hens. You could add in some moss if you like. Maybe little acorns or pine cones. Really, just use your creativity and add what you like visually. Once we had everything planted, we were finished. Isn't this such a sweet and quick DIY terrarium makeover? And I think they look Awesome. I don't know if I should say this or not, but I like ours better than the ones that we're selling at the watering can. I think they're the container or the actual terrarium part is a lot more interesting than just a plain glass container. So I'm so happy that we picked up these candle holders from the thrift store. For care tips, I place the terrarium in a location with indirect sunlight and monitor the moisture level because terrariums often need less water than traditional pots due to the enclosed environment. But other than that, it's super easy. So just as a reminder, here's the before. And here's the after. And I'm curious which one is your favorite. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. I think my faves are number 1 and 2. I'm going to keep the tall one, and the other 2 are going to be going to my sister. She put dibs on them already. These terrariums would make an awesome, beautiful gift for the plant lovers in your life. They also make beautiful home decor, and they'll also look great for staging and styling furniture. These terrariums cost less than $15 each to make. And we still have a ton of supplies left over. We have leftover plants, we have leftover rocks and soil. So I would say probably more around the $12 mark, but a big difference than the ones selling at the watering can. I can't wait to hear what you think of this thrift makeover. Please leave me a comment down below. Be sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube. And you can also find me over at salvagedinspirations.com, where I have over 500 furniture painting and DIY tutorials. I hope you have a fabulous week and see you again soon. Bye, guys.